Gentlemen and ladies, welcome back to Rivet City, where we're gonna have a riveting good time. Goodness, I was doing so poorly on quests. I had the Wasteland Survival Guide going on, and then this ant quest I'm ignoring, and then the main quest. Now we've gotten this cyborg to chase down. Not a cyborg, an android. We gotta talk to Dr. Lee, of course, who's right there, and we need to still worry about Pinkerton's stash of Rivet City's true history. Gosh, there's suddenly an abundance of things to do. A moment ago we were just wading ourselves through super mutants. Dogmeat, stop bothering the ladies. Hello.
What do you need?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, I guess I'll ask this. You're not Dr. Lee, because somehow I can tell your name is Anna Holt. But I'm just gonna ask about my dad from you anyway.
Look, some of us are trying to get work done here. There have been enough disruptions recently. Anybody coming through here would have to talk to Dr. Lee. Why don't you go bother her about it?
You mean the lady who's right behind you, I suppose. Alright, I'll do that.
Bye.
Yeah. What a cooperative lady that was.
Oh, come on. Pay more attention to what you're doing.
They're fighting about robots and androids again. Hey, look, is this... It's one of the bobbleheads, and for whatever reason, it's okay to take anything on this table except the carrot. Well, I can see why the carrot is the most valuable here. It's fresh and stuff. That's delicious. So I'm just gonna... Yoink. You found a Vault-Tec limited edition bobblehead. The inscription on the base reads, "It takes the smartest individuals to realize there's always more to learn. Your intelligence has been permanently increased by 1. What, seriously? Oh, why's that down? Anyway. Wowie zowie, I feel so intelligent after finding that. I believe that was the only bobblehead I ever found on my first playthrough. What do you mean good? Bethesda NPCs. So good to see you. Talk to them. Get out of my face. You're Dr. Lee. Excuse me, lady. I'm looking for you.
This is a restricted area. I'm tired of telling you people. It's you. My heavens, you look so much like him. You're James's daughter, aren't you? What are you doing here?
Wow, you recognized me. Cool. Yeah, but wait. Well, I guess because I look like my dad, she knows me. So, have you seen my dad?
Well, yes, of course I do. Don't you know who I am? I suppose James never told you. Typical. I'm Dr. Madison Lee. I worked with your father many years ago. Your mother as well, in fact. You'll have to forgive me, this has all been very stressful. What with your father suddenly showing up here after being gone for so long. You have to understand that we put all of that behind us. Project Purity, our work, all of it. We've moved on, even if your father hasn't.
Right, Project Purity. That's what Three Dog mentioned that Dad was working on. Sounds quite shady. Like, yeah, what is Project Purity? What is? He never told me what that is.
Project Purity, we called it. What do you want to know?
What is it? Yes.
It was simple, really. Fresh, clean water for everyone. Such a simple idea, and yet so impossible to realize. The plan was to build a facility that could purify all the water in the tidal basin at once. No radiation, no muck, just clear water. It just turned out to be more difficult than we anticipated.
That's okay. Well, Project Purity sounds a lot shadier. It sounds like it could be very bad, but it's actually a water purification. It is literally purity of water. Alright, huh. I never doubted my dad. So, yeah, what's the problem with this? It sounds awesome. You could be the hero of the wasteland if you did this.
We had the basic principles down. We understood most of the science behind it, but the radiation in the area is so pervasive. Small-scale tests were fine. But anytime we tried to test the process on a larger scale, it was just... too much. Maybe if we'd had more time. Or better equipment.
Or, you know, it wasn't the apocalypse and all. It's a lot easier to do science when you don't live in post-society wasteland. But yeah, okay, so please enlighten me why would you stop it. I mean, that seems like a goal worth striving for.
You happened. It wasn't just you. We had more problems than we could handle already, but your birth is what finally pushed it over the edge. Your father decided that you were more important than everything we'd been working for, and he left. He left all of us.
Oh,
Once he was
wow.
gone, the Brotherhood decided we weren't worth their time anymore. Without their protection, we had to abandon the Purifier.
Huh? Wait, the Brotherhood could have known all this time what my dad was working on? Well, maybe not those guys I met, because they seemed like new people, and it seems like this happened years ago. Well, 19 years ago to be exact, since, you know, apparently it was my birth, LeAnn Gleason's birth, which ruined the plan. Dang, don't put all this guilt on me. It wasn't my choice to be born. Yeah, well, okay, so that still doesn't help me find Dad. I mean, I now know. I guess it's the project that he came back. So I know why he left the vault now, I suppose. But my next goal is, where is he?
You mean you haven't? I assumed he sent you here. For that matter, aren't you supposed to be in a vault? James said he left you there.
Yeah, forget about that. It's a long story, I really don't want to go into it. What about my dad? Where's my dad?
Your father is no longer here, and I'd appreciate it if you didn't use that tone with me.
Okay, fine. Please, just tell me where he's gone. I want to find him.
Your father insisted that we return to work on Project Purity. I tried telling him too much time has passed. There's no way it would work. Predictably, he refused to listen to me. He says he can prove it will work and headed off to the old lab. I'm sorry, I don't know what else to tell you.
Oh, well, that's good enough. I'll go check there. Where is the old lab?
It's in the old Jefferson Memorial building, northwest of here. Please, don't go after him. It was foolish of him to even think about going there alone.
Well, I guess we know where to go next. Check out the Jefferson Memorial. What? That I presume that's a real building. Interesting. Thomas Jefferson, I guess? Yeah. I only know the Lincoln and the White House and Capitol and Washington Monument. That's what us foreigners get out of DC. Oh, and I know there's like some Tomb of the Unknown Soldier somewhere around there. It's in DC, right? I think. I remember because it was on a Johnny Bravo episode. That's where I get all my facts. Anyway. Yeah, I know where my dad went. We just talked about it. So, I'll be in a hurry, but why don't you tell me more about my parents, my past? I'd never even met my mother.
I suppose so. I worked with them for several years until your mother died, and your father decided it was time to leave. What else do you want to know?
Yeah, what was my father like?
James? He was very driven, determined to change the world. Well, we all were back then, I suppose. He was focused on two things, really. Making Project Purity work, and your mother. When she died, I think he gave up. I know he wanted to keep you safe, but I think part of what he did was run away. But it seems that he never really was able to get over the idea. I'm frankly shocked that he waited all this time, and wants to try again.
Very tragic. So tell me about my mother, too. This is also, if my heart can take it, this is so sad to hear.
Yes. Your mother was... well, she was a good woman. A very dedicated scientist. Your father loved her very much. It was a shame that she died. She had been excited to meet you.
What exactly happened to her? Yeah, I need to know that too.
Complications from childbirth. None of us were expecting it. We weren't as prepared as we could have been. You have to understand, we were struggling with scavenged, derelict equipment. We did everything we could.
Well, I'm sure you did everything you could. I'm not gonna blame you for that.
Yes. Well, I'm sorry it wasn't enough.
Okay, this is too depressing. Let's move on already.
Okay.
Goodness. Can you help me out somehow? Apart from just telling me. That's big help too, but anything else would.
Look, I don't want to be harsh, but I have problems of my own. I don't have the resources to support James's foolish endeavors or your chasing after him. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess we'll give it a try. Please, he's a good man. I'm sad to hear that he kind of broke down like that when I was born. But he's good in heart, okay? And I'm sure it's worth trying to save him.
I suppose I can spare a few stim packs. It's not much, but it might make things easier for you.
Oh wow, thanks. That is good. 5 of them. Yes, excellent. Definitely I can use those. I'd like to know a bit more about you. That sounds a bit... could be taken many ways, but...
What? Well, I'm not sure what there is to tell.
She seems as confused as me for the question.
We worked together for a long time. I think we were really on to something. But then there were complications. The project was abandoned and your father disappeared. I returned here to Rivet City and established the lab you see before you now.
Fair enough, I guess. Oh man, is there some sort of conspiracy theory about how she loved James and then like she made sure that Catherine died? Was it Catherine was the name of the mother? Well, the mother anyway. I think she was called Catherine. Anyway. Or maybe I'm just reading too much into a simple case of, I mean, everything doesn't have to be a conspiracy and plot twisty and stuff. Maybe she just died from childbirth. It's not easy giving birth to a child, I hear. I haven't done it myself, but I've heard reliable sources tell me it is not easy to give birth to a child. So what are you doing now?
This is the Rivet City Science Lab. It's taken many long years to put together, but we've done well for ourselves. Our work on portable fusion power and hydroponics are coming along quite nicely, if not quite according to schedule.
Alrighty, that's pretty good too. I guess I've been asking everyone about history. I got an idea where to go to Pinkerton's, but I guess I'll ask you too while I'm at it.
I could tell you all about the science lab, but even though I was here near the start, I can't really help with the details of how it all worked out. It all seems like a lifetime ago. I'm afraid I've had a lot of things on my mind since those early days.
Fair enough. Alright, well, thanks for your help. You've been a very nice person. I understand your eagerness to get back to work, so I'll just let you be, Miss Lee.
Good luck finding your father.
Dr. Lee or whatever. So, the plot thickens, yes. Interesting. Lots of revelations here. It's an interesting idea, the plot here, that Dad's trying to finish his old work of helping the wasteland, really. And if you're like, that doesn't sound like there's a chance for it to be a bad guy, there is a bad guy ending option in this game too, one of them at least. Even if we help find Dad and whatnot, we can still be bad guys. I'm not going to, of course, I can't handle being a bad guy, but what was I doing? Yes, I was to quests. Now, the nearest thing, I guess, is to go to Dr. Preston, talk to him. Which... yeah, sure. Which way was that? It's over here. Oh, the doctor's in the house now. Cool. Let's see what he has to say about our android.
Please don't disturb any of my patients.
Alright.
You're in the Rivet City Clinic. I'm Dr. Preston.
And you're too edgy to turn around and look at me? Oh, well, thank you. I know I'm not a doctor. I'm just a... no-nose punk, but it's polite to look at the person when you're talking to them. Golly, could he help me with my whatever I'm addicted to?
I thought you had the look about you. Sure, I can help you, but it's not free. 50 caps, take it or leave it.
That costs a lot. I'm gonna have to go through my non-existent withdrawals. This game's making addiction seem a bit easy, all things considered. I mean, I only this episode noticed I have a little blip in my endurance down because of it. I think I'll tough it out.
Suit yourself. But you'll find out that your habit will cost you more than that in the end.
Not really. I didn't pay anything for any of my drugs. Or unless you're using a more metaphysical cost to you, like it's my health and whatnot. I think in this game, if you tough it out long enough, the addiction will wear off. Which, again, that's kind of how it works in real life too. So, So, what I'm actually really here about is this android from the Commonwealth that this guy's talking about. Do you know about it?
That old story? Well, now, I haven't heard talk of that in quite some time. It was all just a rumor, a hoax. Someone's idea of a practical joke. Story was there was an android, escaped from the Commonwealth up north, from someplace called the Institute. There was a holotape that got circulated. I think I've got a copy of it. Yeah, here it is. Give it a listen. That's a man's voice. Hoax for sure.
Oh, I forgot about to listen to that one recording that the Zimmer guy gave me. Whoops. So tell me more about this holotape about the android. Well, I'm going to listen to it in a second, but I'd rather finish this conversation with you.
Like I said, it's a hoax. Don't bother with it. Someone sent tapes like that to pretty much every doctor in the wasteland. None of us believed it.
Alright. Well, nice talking to you. Oh, let me ask you about the history too while I'm at it. You look like an old guy, no offense, so you might know stuff.
Oh, I'd like to help, I really would. But I don't know the first thing about this place's history. Don't let my age fool you. I may have been around for a while, but I didn't spend all that time here.
Ooh, an adventurous man. Fair enough. Well, it was nice meeting you. You're like one of the nicest persons in this rickety tub.
Take care of yourself.
I mean, you were a bit, doting parent with that drug thing, but I understand. I'm not gonna fight you. Let's check those notes I got about the... Zimmer, who's currently at Rivet City, is searching for an android. He believes the android may have had facial reconstruction surgery and a memory wipe, correct. This is the recording that the android made to Zimmer.
Zimmer, by the time you get this message, I'll already be gone. I'm escaping the Commonwealth. I want to live my own life on my own terms, as my own man. I know what you're thinking, that I'm malfunctioning. I used to think that's what caused the runaways too. But I know better now. Self-determination is not a malfunction. I'm not just willing to put up with all the bullshit anymore. You humans are going to have a full-fledged rebellion on your hands if you don't start treating us synths as persons. I know you'll be marshaling the Retention Bureau to come after me, but I know all the tricks of the trade. You won't be finding me, I assure you. By the time you get this, I will be someone else. It's the price I pay for my liberation. My final act of rebellion against a system I no longer believe in. Goodbye, Zimmer, and good riddance.
Yeah, finding this guy is not gonna be easy, by the sounds of it. What's this sound like?
If you're listening to this recording, it is because you're believed to be trustworthy. I hope that is the case, because this recording puts us both in danger. I'm escaping from the Commonwealth. I'm an android, a synthetic man, a slave. The men hunting me are ruthless and will stop at nothing to retrieve their property. I need to find a doctor in the wasteland to perform facial reconstruction. I also need someone who knows a great deal about computers. I need to have my memories erased and my face altered to look like someone else.
Very curious. Also, really, if his memory gets wiped, then, like, he no longer thinks he's an android, he thinks he's a human being as well. We're going with this, that he is actually a sentient being, but then he'll kind of be living a lie in a sense. But really, then what makes him any different from another person then, apart from him being all mechanical and stuff? Okay, so I guess I answered that question myself. Now the real problem is, I'm wondering, did he change his voice somehow in addition? Was his voice program different in addition to his face and his memory? I'm actually hoping almost that it was, because given Bethesda's rather limited stock of voice actors, that's the same voice I've heard in like a dozen NPCs already in this game. I'm gonna have a hell of a time tracking this android down by voice alone when everyone in the wasteland sounds like him, if we're perfectly honest. And you notice there's no more any quest markers on the map, so this is one quest where they didn't want to give it away. Give it away, you see. Give it away now. So I need to use my head to figure out where the android is. And like I said last episode, I have some inkling of I have a suspect. There's a person in this game who I think may not be what he seems. But I'm not gonna pursue that right now. It's quite far away from here. I don't even know how I would confront this person. I have just such a wild goose chase hunch. It's like I have no concrete evidence that he's the guy I'm looking for, so it wouldn't be worth it. Plus, do I really want to find this guy? I'm kind of starting to sympathize with him, really. If you know the plot of the game Soma, which I really enjoyed the plot, that's caused a lot of divisiveness about people, exactly about the sentience of machines and how they should be treated. And personally, oh, it's nighttime. I think I want to take a nap in the hotel before I go traveling. Where was the hotel? This way. I'm kind of on the side completely that if a robot becomes sentient, then I have to, like me, Minsk, the person, not my character. Well, really, my character's not that different from me, I guess, except being cool while I'm a dork. Anyway, I totally feel that a robot should be treated as a person if they reach sentience. At what point you can say that they're sentient, I don't know, because for some reason these Mr. Handys are treated as non-sentient beings, and, you know, they seem to have personalities and advanced abilities to answer, while for some reason these don't count, while this android we're looking for is a moral quandary. See, look at this nice guy. How much for a room?
Oh, the mere 120 caps.
What the hell? That's... no.
Very good, madam. Yes, ma'am.
I'd rather sleep in a hole in this boat than pay 120. It only cost 50 to get rid of an addiction. But one night's sleep, 120. What a cheapskate. Where was the way? That's Bridge Tower. I'm so lost. Actually, you know what? There's one more quest I think we can pick up. I haven't been to the Capital Preservation Society, and it's a really fun quest. I don't know if I'm going to do it as well, because it's a bit out of the way. But I'll just pick it up just in case, because I think it's a really good time, that quest. Of course, everything seems to be... Calm the hell down! Common room.
Hi. How are you today?
Oh, wow, you've certainly learned your manners since the last time we met. Who's this guy? No, everyone's just hanging out here. Can I sleep in this bed? Oh. Well, why would I want the room in the hotel if I can just sleep in this cot? What a load of nonsense. Nice 9 hours of sleep. Good long rest.
Ted, could you please not put your stuff on my bed or all over the floor? Hey.
Bye.
That was a good conversation. Who is Ted Strayer? Have I talked to this guy yet?
Ted Strayer. You can chill with me if you want, dude.
Sounds like a plan, man. Yeah, sounds like a plan, man.
All right, you and me just hanging.
While we're hanging, dude, can I ask you about the history?
Lady, I only just got here myself. Ain't nothing I could tell you.
Shame. Well, I'm done hanging.
Later, dude.
Yep. You too, guy. Now then. Well, there's also St. Monica's Church. That's... oh, sorry. Bumped into... Science lab. Been there, done that.
Hey there.
Everything looks okay here.
Behold! A museum to rival the Museum of Technology, you could say. Welcome to the Capital Preservation Society. Behold, there's actual trivia on history, also the war on China, which is made up history, but still. Exciting. What's the Constitution say? The Constitution of the United States was drafted in 1786 and adopted a year later by the Constitutional Convention of Philly. This document defines the organization of the U.S. government and sets forth the rules and regulations known as articles. In addition, there are modifications made to the articles by ruling presidents during their reigns, known as amendments. The Society owns the only known copy of the document to exist, which was retrieved from the ruins of the National Archives in 2256. Wow, there's an original copy of the US Constitution here somewhere. Along with all these other knickknacks of American history. Ooh, like this, which I think was used to teach spelling to school kids before the war. See, everyone knows the alphabet goes H, S, N, J, T, U, Q, F, M, S, Z, C, H, D, D, V, T, Olgbva. It's kind of an awkward alphabet since V is repeated twice, but there you go. And these mannequins are creepy. For some reason, they get angry if you activate this ham radio. How about this bobblehead hula girl? No, you can't activate it. I just leave a gun hanging here. Sure, sure. What an exciting place. And here we find someone sleeping. Hello, I'm here to visit the museum.
Welcome to the Capitol Preservation Society. Quite an impressive collection, isn't it? Well, don't be shy. Have a look around.
Did you see how fast...
Washington's the name. Curator of this little slice of American history.
Did you see how fast that guy sprung out of his bed? Just woke up. He's like, finally, people to talk to about America! It's an interesting collection indeed. This is exciting. I saw a real-life baseball.
Ah, a fellow scholar, I see. Each of the documents in this room tells a small but important story about the history of the United States of America. Unfortunately, the greatest prize of all is missing from the collection.
Yeah, well, that's... I see you're leading me on. What could you be missing?
In 1776, the Second Judgmental Congress got together and adopted a document drafted by none other than Thomas Jefferson himself. It was the day the United States of America earned its name and secured its place in history. This magnificent achievement took form in the Declaration of Independence.
Wow. I'm guessing here you're gonna want me to get that thing.
Indeed I do. Without the Declaration, the rest of these relics are almost meaningless. I must have it. Acquire the document for me, and you'll be awarded most handsomely. What do you think?
Let's see. Yeah, this is totally... That would be amazing. I wanna see this declaration for myself.
Excellent! You won't regret it, I promise you. Imagine, you are taking part in another chapter of American history. I envy you. You can find the Declaration of Independence in the ruins of the National Archives.
My goodness. Yes, can you tell me where this place is?
In the D.C. ruins, you'll find the National Archives, or what's left of it anyway. The building should contain the document in a protective glass case. Be careful. The place is swarming with super mutants.
Oh, I know all about that.
Let me pinpoint its location for you.
Thank you, sir, Mr. Washington. You seem like a scholarly man, so do you know about this place you live in?
It's funny now that you ask. I can tell you all about the Capitol, but I really haven't got any idea about Rivet City itself.
No.
I can't see how important it is compared to the Capitol's history, but maybe Bannon might know something. He's in the governing council, after all.
Oh, stop telling me to go to talk to Bannon. I talked to him and he was kind of, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'll get back to you with the Declaration of Independence.
I hope next time I see you, the Declaration will be in hand.
You bet, sir. That's right. This quest involves us doing nothing less than becoming Nicolas Cage and breaking into the National Archives to rescue the Declaration of Independence, the most important document in human history. I may be slightly exaggerating. Come on, there's no quest marker here. That's odd. Well, there's the National Archives, which is where Washington wants us to go. Again, it's a bit out of my way, so... Because, you know... First of all, it's also in the mall, which you recall was Super Mutant Party Town, so I'm a bit, like, risking going there again. The quest is really fun, so maybe towards the end of the game I'll consider revisiting that place and getting it. And what's this here? Oh, the scrapyard, of course. And here's Canterbury Commons. Oh, I could talk to the one guy. He's marked all these places around here. Mainly my adventures have been focused on this quarter of the map, though. Yes, what we now want to do is I want to go find Pinkerston's stash. Remember? We got that quest, and that's the nearest thing next. Because, Dad is... Well, we passed, actually... I actually commented on the last episode. I surreptitiously commented. That's an interesting building. It's that island with that weird, pillared building with all those pipes coming out of it. That's where Dad went. That's where the Project Purity is. Now, obviously, it's a bit far away. Not terribly far away, but seeing as Pinkerton's stash is right here in Rivet City, somewhere outside, then you know that that is what I want to do next. Also, should I check the church? Because it says that there's Santa Monica's church. I don't remember if there is anything there, a quest or any old thing, but